Altered Carbon Season 1 Episode 2 is bad. Terrible. I think this is the worst episode of anything that I've seen on Netflix, because nothing happens. There's no plot progression. There's no character progression with any of the important characters, like any of the main characters. Like, we currently have a main character whose character trait is, look at me, I'm a badass, and I'm quippy. What do you frickin' do? So we start the episode off with the floating body from the beginning of the last episode. We find out that that is a woman, and her mother, in the present day, or the present day that this is, that the show is taking place in, is looking for her body, looking for her daughter's body. Find out that the police have that body, but it's all battered and bruised and whatever, what have you. They've been hiding the body from this woman. God knows why that's not explained. The whole thing with the actual main character, Kovac, is he's trying to find the guy who killed. He's trying to find the guy who killed the person who owns him, the person who got him out of the ice. The way that he does that is actually quite clever, because he gets a list of all of the people who want to kill this guy. They have, and then he breaks them down into subcategories of people that have military training, people that aren't military trained, and people that have known mental diseases or known mental disorders. He then tracks down this one guy, and there's a little bit of a fight there. He then goes into this, like, almost flashback of this other guy's life, but he puts on like a VR headset to go into like the final moments of this guy's daughter, who he has stuck in a trauma loop. He then goes to this like sex bar where this guy's daughter worked, to try and find out who killed her. So now we're trying to find out. Now we're trying to solve 2 murders. Yeah. I mean, the first one was confusing enough, and now we've got 2. We also find out that the skins that people can be given don't necessarily have to correlate with who they were before they died. So in the first episode we had this child that went into that when they got brought back was in the skin of like a 20 or 30 year old, and the actual skin of this little girl was being put into was actually older than her parents. And in this we have Joel Kinnaman's character basically pretend to be the mother of this person, basically say, oh, they put me in a man's skin. So yeah. And we then have this other like kind of okay fight between Joel Kinnaman's character and this like big beefy Asian guy, almost sumo wrestler, who's got this kind of like thing in his back, kind of like the thing that gave what's his face all of his powers in the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That thing that like kind of attached to his back. Joel Kinnaman's character then gets arrested for getting attacked. But then he gets out shortly after. And the guy who he's trying to solve the murder of, who is still alive, his wife is now at the Raven Hotel. And they do it. They have sex. And we see that there's this other guy watching them. Is he the other half of the assassin that was sent in the first episode? Do I really care? Is it really worth giving a shit for? Because the plot is already confusing enough and we're only 2 episodes in. Maybe we might get some answers down the line, but I doubt it. We'll probably just get the whodunit and then a fight scene. We're not going to learn more about the world. And like I said before, the world that is being built around the characters is more interesting than the characters themselves. The characters are just blank slates. But drop them into a world that's so intriguing and so reliant on artificial intelligence is an interesting dynamic, and I think there's more that they could like explore there. Because at the moment all they have is the Raven Hotel, which is, like I said, my favourite character in the whole show, because it's the only thing that has character. It's basically an artificial intelligence sex dungeon with Rowan Atkinson with some Rowan Atkinson wannabe as the butler, essentially. So yeah, I'm sorry for fans of Altered Carbon, fans of the book that this is based off of, because I'm sure the book is definitely better than this. But I'm just not into the show. I'm not getting into it. It's just bland. It's just like sci-fi, science fiction shows are meant to be action-packed from start to finish, and most of this is just walking. It's just walking, talking heads, and just like detective work. It's basically what if Batman was 200 years into the future, but he was also homeless and didn't have any of the technology that he has now. That's basically what the show is. And what if he was basically the slave to... What if Batman was Bruce Wayne's slave, basically? So yeah, I'm sorry, but I didn't enjoy it. I'm not enjoying the series as a whole. There's nothing really there. There might be an episode later on that might just turn me around onto this show, but I'm really waiting for that episode. But there's only 8 episodes left. I know It seems a lot. But it's only 10 episodes long. It'll be over in no time. So that has been my review for Altered Carbon Episode 2. I have been your host, Luke Warner. If you enjoyed that, leave a comment, leave a like, and subscribe so you never miss out on any other episodes, on any other videos from yours truly. Peace.